Hello, this is CurtisCroweThePhotoPro here to show you some tricks on Lightroom. Now this is one of my older photos, but I wanted to go back and re-edit it because I think it's got some potential. So it's a first birthday picture, kid looks grumpy, the cake's there, but I think we can make this a little bit more zazzy in order to make it pop. So we're going to start off with my basic boost for human type people preset that I have on here. And what this just does is it's got my preferred sharpening preset on there for people, and it's got a few other settings on here: vibrance, saturation, clarity, just for generally how I like it with the masking, which if we go here you can see, generally 25 is kind of where I want it. And some other settings here, but we're not talking about my presets, we're talking about this photo. So I think it's going to look better if we turn it black and white. And I want to add a little bit more boom to the photo, so we're going to play with the highlights and see where we like it. Okay, I like it up higher, definitely, but I don't want to lose the details in the cake, nor down here, because if you blow that area out, it's not going to look as good, in my opinion. But I definitely want a little bit more boom, so let's darken the image. Ooh, I like that. And let's see what we do for shadows. Let's darken the shadows. I might even take out that background a bit more. Let's see here. If we use the brush tool here and go to, do we want shadows? Let's go exposure and do a negative that. Oh no, we gotta turn off masking, because this is something we don't really need masking for. I mean, it's good to turn it on to check it out in a minute, but as far as my actual darkening here, I want to make sure I'm doing a good job. So let's zoom in here and really just wipe this out of existence. Now, I probably don't even need that dark of a setting. Let's go up a little higher. Maybe I do. Yeah, I do. Let's go there. And we darken, and we're probably going to have to go one more layer over this, but we don't want to go too dark, because otherwise it's going to really make the picture look weird when I get close to the edges. I'd rather it look as not weird as possible. Now let's make sure we got over here good. Let's take a look at that mask. I'm going to just add a little bit more here to smoothen that, just in case people have some weird monitors that really show up a lot of that information. We want to make sure it doesn't look splotchy on their screens. There we go. And let's zoom in on the arm here a little bit and use the eraser tool. I think we're just a little, let's use the eraser tool, because I think we're just a little too close to the skin here. Yeah, see, getting rid of some of that red stuff right there. And yeah, there we go. A little too much, but it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, so that is way better. I'm loving it already. But we got to do a little bit more to these two splotches here. So we're going to do the same exact brush, but we're going to make sure this brush mark is not selected. And we're going to run over it again. Let's try that for zoomage. Not liking it. Let's try that. There we go. Turn off the mask. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So now we kind of turned it into a low-key shot. I want to make the smoke pop a little bit more. Let's make the smoke pop a little bit more. Add some clarity, because we're obviously going to make this photo a little bit more grungy, a little bit rougher. Let's really add that shadow in, or not that shadow, the smoke. See if that looks any better. Yeah, I like it. It looks nice and sharp and vibrant. Let's just hit the highlights one more time with that brush, just to really add some flair. There we go. Boom! Love it. So we see that the cake is just freshly blown out. Kid's not happy. It's starting to turn into more of an art piece now. I'm a little distracted by this shadow here. Let's see if we can up shadows using the brush tool a little bit more. Photos can be a lot like paintings because you can just brush out a lot of detail and even brush in a lot of detail, especially if you use Photoshop and stuff like that. So brushes is a huge part of the overall image. That looks a little bit smoother. I like it a little bit more. I think I'm going to end up softening his face, but I'm not going to use a heavy skin softener. A lot of people use heavy skin softeners on babies. I don't really like that look, but I think this photo merits just a little bit of that skin softening. Where is the brush I'm looking for? Okay, there we go. I don't know why it disappeared, but it disappeared for a moment. Anyway, skin softening is right there. I don't want that much, but we're going to start off with that much, because I want to show you what over softening looks like. Let's see here. All right. Get his cheeks in real nice. Let's check that mask. You know, this is something I definitely could use the mask for. So let's go here, because the amount of change is not as dramatic as the exposure was. So we'll go ahead, slap all that on there. Just put a nice thick coat on it. You can always use the eraser tool afterwards. Let's see here. Kind of want to try to avoid the hair usually, but I'm just slapping this on here. Ugh, just slapping it on there. Slapping it on there. I guess we'll get the lips too. Alright, so that's kind of what the shot looks like. Honestly, for the fact that we're trying to over-exaggerate the look, it doesn't even look that bad over-softened. Generally it does, and something that you also got to make sure you do is always, if you soften the face, make sure you get the arms or any other skinny areas that are showing, because that is one way to make the eye see that the image is clearly photoshopped, is the fact that the effect is only on one part of their body and not the rest of it. It's a really easy way to make the image look unbelievable. So see, that looks better. So, but I do want to take this back a little bit. So let's take it back. Take it back. Because I still want to show some of that grunginess to it. I'm thinking like right there looks good to my eye. You guys might like it a little bit more, a little bit less. And because we're going for a more grungy look, let's try to get some more of that food. Ooh, that's too close. A little bit more of that food popping on his lips. Just real... Oh, I don't like what it's doing with the exposure. Yeah, that looks way too... Oh boy. Well, that's what you get for experimenting. Let's see here. Now let's go back. Honestly, don't see a difference, so I'm not even going to leave that there. I will do a little bit of clarity on the hair, though. Try that again. There we go. Don't like that quite yet. No, it's still too much. I just want to get the highlights to really show the highlights a little bit more. There we go. That looks better in my opinion. A little shine there. Really show his hair. Don't want to get too close to his skin, otherwise you undo the skin softening effect. Alright, and then we have the cake itself. Ooh. Which I think the cake's fine. I don't think I want to do too much editing to it. I am tempted to add a little bit more smoke. You don't even have to do that in Photoshop. You can just take this, take a copy of it. Oops. But that there, put this here. And then you can go, instead of healing, you go cloned. Put this somewhere like right down yonder. Add a little bit more feather effect, and that looks really realistic. Let me see here. Let me get back. Feather. There you go. That looks a lot better. And see, you can add a little bit more smoke that way. But I think I'm going to resist. Now, if you do have Photoshop and you are familiar with Photoshop, I highly recommend adding more smoke by doing it in Photoshop, because then you can rotate the smoke. You can still use the same smoke, rotate it, and it won't look so copied. Because if you look right here, the blinking spot that was just there, let me bring it back. Maybe it won't come back. But anyways, there was, I'll pull it up on the screen in the editing. There it is. This little bit here and this little bit here are identical. And if you rotate it, it wouldn't be so noticeable. So let's go back again. All right. Just going to delete it. All right, and I like that image. That is something I can definitely print if I wanted to. I'm not feeling 100% on his skin. I don't know if it's too soft and not contrasty enough. I want a little bit more boom there. Let's see if I can add a little bit more boom there. There we go. And just add it just a touch here, because that's where the light sources are. A touch there and a touch there. Boom. I like that a lot more. So now his eyes, or his face, isn't so far in the shadow that it looks like it's flat. It gives it a little bit more pop there. And I like this image. And because we did that to the face, let's just add a little highlight to the arm. There we go. And yeah, I could definitely print something like this. It's not my best photo, but it is way better than that. So we add a little bit more artistic effect, black and white it, add a little bit more pop, and you turn an unusable image into something that's very usable. So I could keep this. It's got a little bit of, it's not your typical photo, not especially your first birthday. I mean, most kids are happy. This kid's grumpy. It kind of tells a story. And I like the image, especially now that we've edited it, because I don't feel like the level of interest is as much there. You got stuff in the background. Things are distracting. There's not as much pop. The image is overall flatter. But then when we do that, it's just, it's good. Anyway, I hope you guys like this editing tutorial. Definitely like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. We are coming out with 3 videos a day every day, Monday through Friday, and giving you little nuggets of content over the weekend. So please subscribe. And it's that time where I say, I'm Curtis Crowe. You are watching Curtis Crowe the Photo Pro. And as I always do, toodles.